In the words of Assalamu alaikum, which means peace and blessings be upon you, and I mention both Jesus and Muhammad's names. Peace be upon them both because they were both messengers of truth and reality. You know, today I have with me, you know what, first welcome to the Underground Railroad. And you get an opportunity. You know, you look at Plum anyway to see the producer of Plum Empowered Latent Man, Professor Lee Warren. So I'm going to thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me here.
Okay. And my co-host, the great alderman, Virgil Jones of Chicago.
Well,
You've been received well on YouTube and internet. Both of you gentlemen on my website.
well, I have to just let you know that I'm not a great alderman. I'm just a servant.
Yeah.
That's all I am.
You know,
Yes,
before we get started, Professor, could you please tell us something about yourself? But they watch your show anyway. But, you know, for my audience that may not look, I'm sure they do, though. But can you?
With the Plum Show, the Power Latent Man television show, it comes on every Wednesday from 8:30 to 9:30. It's every Wednesday night, 8:30 to 9:30. It's p.m. on Channel 36, and it's reshown Thursday morning from 10:30 to 11 a.m. 10:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. And then if you want to contact us, you can contact us two means through the Plum line. That's 773-509-8124. That's again, that's 773-509-8124. Or you can write us an email at Plim, P-L-I-M, at plim.org. So that's Plim at plim.org.
You know, I'm looking at you on the internet. You know what? Not only do you have a Chicago presence, you have a worldwide presence. And on my website and Mark Sims' website, you are received very well on the YouTube website. And they've been demanding on my YouTube website, get Dr. Lee Warren back, get him back, get him back. I said, no problem. You know, because it's the people that call the shots.
Well, put it this way.
They're looking at you in Europe, Asia. We've transcended now from a local show to a national show.
Right.
I mean, you know.
Well, we're talking about truth, and truth is what people want because they see the state and condition of the world. As the great master, Yahshua Messiah, said, or as his Hebrew name, or as the world knows him as Jesus Christ.
Yes, sir.
He told them, and the truth shall make you free. Well, people see that the devil is a liar and a murderer, and they can see the signs. And I don't care whether you're Buddhist, Hindu, atheist, Islamic, whatever, you're agnostic. You don't need a Bible to see when something is evil. And it's apparent that something is awry when all the economies in the world are collapsing. Everything is collapsing around you. And this is not an accident. It's impossible for all this stuff to happen. So people are beginning now to seek answers and solutions to the current situation that has aroused in the world through the money changes of Wall Street and the Illuminati of London, which have controlled this thing for the last 500 or 600 years or more.
A question for.
Well, you know, we were looking earlier at something where Hitler quoted a very well-known individual in this country, known as John D. Rockefeller, where he said he did not want a nation of thinkers. He wanted a nation of workers. Why would someone want that?
Well, put it this way, few people understand the way the educational system has been set up, or the medical system, and they both set up by the Rockefellers. This is, if you do your history, go somewhere on the internet. It doesn't take long to find out how these institutions were set up. When you begin, once you understand how they are set up and their agenda, then you begin to understand. They never intended for the American people to become, I'm not talking about literate, we're talking about thinkers, independent thinkers.
Yes, sir.
That means that you cannot be controlled. Acquiring knowledge and wisdom, being an independent thinker. That means you cannot be controlled. So what they want to do, they wanted to dummy the people down,
yes,
such that they become worker bees and specialize in the various specialties, engineering or whatever, medicine, and they did not have a critical way of putting things together where things begin to make sense. For instance, you go in your pocket and you pull out let's see, I got some currency here, what they call currency. So this says here, this is a Federal Reserve note.
Yes, sir.
It says a Federal Reserve. This is not a U.S. Treasury note.
Yes.
Now, I don't care what your educational background is. They've been using this all along. People have been paying bills. But nobody stopped and thinks, wait a minute, this is a Federal Reserve note. It didn't say U.S. Treasury.
Yes, sir.
Then something's wrong. So what I'm saying, people have not been able to put the dots together because they've been deliberately miseducated. And as a result of being educated and dumbing down, you have been allowed to be raped and pillaged and enslaved. And your power taken from you, I mean the power of the people taken from them and been enslaved by a system that makes you an economic slave. That's basically what you're, because you have been dummied down. You don't understand the workings of economics, and you're being easily manipulated. So as they are printing this stuff, remember this stuff is not, if we go back to 1960,
Yes, sir.
when JFK was put in office, he had a federal executive order. I think it was 11,000 Just put the executive.
Sure.
He issued an executive order where he issued U.S. Treasury notes.
Yes, sir.
And not only was there U.S. Treasury, you could go down to the bank and get a silver dollar. So if you had a $5 bill, you go down and get $5 silver. Well, after he was assassinated, all of that was changed by LBJ. My point is that as he was saying, John D. Rockefeller said he wanted workers. He wanted somebody to do as they were told. Just like in the service, you join the army, you given a direct order. You're not told to think, you're just told to go and perform. You're no more than a robot.
Yes, sir. And a robot, you know what, something that concerns me, and perhaps you could shine some light on it. Why is it that the average individual can tell you what the Chicago Bulls did, the soccer team over in Europe, our football team, but they have no idea of what's going on around them, but they can tell you about things that do not matter? What is the reason for this?
The reason for the